You're watching Force13's live streaming service.
Storm Éowyn is heading towards the UK. It's just emerged out of this front off the coast of the eastern coast of the USA and is forecast to absolutely rapidly intensify as this storm heads closer and closer to Ireland, where it is currently covered in red alert, status red, from the Met Éowyn. This storm was named by the Met Éowyn, I think yesterday. I think it was last night, and I've currently got a team here with me to help me with covering this system as it intensifies rapidly, because it will be intensifying rapidly. Currently in the team that I have currently consists of these people here. We've got Zeta, Christian, and Michael. Hello to you guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, Christian, you said you had something up earlier. Do you have anything up? Because I did see something come up earlier where you said you had some warnings, or where your stream said you had some warnings up, if you still have them up. But I know that the whole of Ireland country is in a status red alert from the Met Éowyn, and you even got Yorkshire, I think, from Met Office in an amber. If I quickly head over here.
Yes. Everything from entirety of Northern Ireland, Anglesey, parts of North Wales, as far east as Scarborough, and as far north as Montrose, up in Scotland, all covered in an amber warning.
Yeah, so that's Met Office there, and on Met Éowyn, where they show Ireland's warnings, they are in full red for the whole.
I do not have
Met. If you get that one,
I did earlier have Met Ireland's thing up. Just give me one moment here. You can basically see an image.
Oh yeah, there it is there.
Right, there we go. Just bring up there we go.
Like the
entirety of Ireland is covered in status red. Northern Ireland is status orange.
Yes.
So going off of the, I've been having a look as well at the Met Office yellow warnings that are currently in effect. So looking through, so we currently have an amber warning in effect from the Met Office for the areas around the central, Tayside and Fife, the East Midlands, Grampian, Highlands and Illanslaw, I believe that is. North East England, North West England, Northern Ireland, South West Scotland, the Lothian borders, Strathclyde, Wales, Yorkshire and Humber. All currently have warnings in effect from 0600 Greenwich Mean Time on Friday the 24th, which will go straight through until 2100 also on Friday the 24th. So that's an amber warning for wind. The Met Office currently are predicting that winds will reach up to 90 miles per hour through the central parts of the UK, and then towards the further south, Bristol, Cornwall, and also the southern coast are expected 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, and the northern parts of Scotland are currently expected to be between 50 and 70 miles an hour for the Highlands and further north.
Thank you for that, Michael. Nice detailed look into, I think that was the Met Office's warnings there.
Yep.
And then I do know that I'd like to say that this storm, when it starts to deepen, it will deepen very quickly near the coast of Ireland. And on the forecast, the European model says that it goes down to 939 millibars on the forecast when it passes over Ireland, which is very deep for a storm to be hitting anywhere in the UK or Ireland, to be fair. Almost like sustained at 100 miles an hour. like not too far off the coast. It's like just like gales are going to be really bad in this storm.
It's kind of green scale.
Yeah, gales in this storm would be particularly bad, especially in, I believe, the most southern parts of Ireland, and I know the centre of Ireland, even including Dublin. That would have that would be affected very strongly by all sorts of winds and rain, you name it. I think the storm will be passing just to the north of Ireland, moving on to Scotland and causing rain. And obviously,
there's some snow warnings in effect as well.
Snow warnings.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there is also there are also some snow warnings in effect currently. So the full list and details of warnings that we have in effect are that there is a yellow warning of snow, also through the central Tayside and Fife area, in the Grampian Hills, Highlands, and Eowyn I believe that is. North East England, North West England, South West Scotland, the Lothian borders, Strathclyde, and also in Yorkshire and Humber. So quite significant. Luckily, so far, nothing red so far, but that could also change. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there. Additionally, there is also warnings in effect for rain across southern parts of Wales. And also down into the West Country to Penzance, Exeter, Plymouth, and Cardiff. And then also, as well as, you've got the snow warnings further up in the north in Scotland, and wind warnings in effect for much of the UK as a whole.
Well, I know Northern Wales and Anglesey especially will probably get a big deal with the storm, because obviously, as I said a minute ago, the storm's southern side looks like it's going to be the strongest part of the storm, and as that pushes into Ireland, that will exit Ireland, affect the Isle of Man, Anglesey and areas through there. That's why they're probably in an amber wind warning. Looking at Christian's screen right there. So I can see that they've got that snow warning that Michael was probably reading out up there. Christian, could you click on that and see what it says there? Is that what Michael was reading out, actually?
Which one, sorry?
Is that snow there? It looks like it's...
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a snow warning up in Scotland. The regions and local authorities affected. So you've got the central Tayside and Fife area in Scotland, which includes Angus, Clackmannanshire, Dundee, Falkirk, Fife, Perth and Kinross, Stirling, and also in Aberdeenshire, Moray and the Grampian Hills, Highlands and Eowyn and also through the northeast. You have Durham and Northumberland currently under that amber wind warning. Cumbria, Dumfries and Galloway, East Lothian, Edinburgh, Mid Lothian Council, the Scottish borders and West Lothian, and through most subdivisions of the Strathclyde and Yorkshire and Humber areas are also under that warning. The furthest south that this warning will stretch to is to just to the north of York, Leeds and Manchester. So Bradford as well is included in this warning for amber warning for wind. Going off the pressure reading charts as well over the into the next few days. So storms expected to be coming across this evening at about midnight. Will be across the central Atlantic. Currently, the forecast there is 992 millibars, but as it traverses the Atlantic, it will start deepening. So by 1200 UTC tomorrow, it'll be at 968 millibars, and then dropping down to 939 millibars off the coast of Ireland. So as soon as that gets close to land, obviously, with the isobars being so compact, this storm is going to pack a serious punch.
That's what I was remarking on with Christian earlier in a call. I saw like these isobars were so close to each other. I think there was one that was like only like, what was it, Christian? I think it was around like 200 meters away, which was an absolute tiny distance.
It was like 150, I
Yeah,
think.
150
But yeah.
meters.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is gonna be a significant storm, but hopefully it should pass mercifully just north. But obviously, with storms, you guys will expect storm surge and things like that to come as well.
And it's not just the storm surge. It probably I'm not expecting the storm surge to be too bad, obviously, but I think it's pressure that dictates that, and it's obviously it will chuck quite a lot of waves over from the ocean. I know me and Michael have said a lot, so I want to go and open my arms to Zeta or Christian, or there's also Force13 in the call if I want to say anything.
Hi, Jack.
Hello, Nathan. So that would be Nathan. If you're not updated on the scenario, Nathan's away, so he cannot be hosting the stream today. But he is joining us here from. Where are you, Nathan?
Well, as you may have seen on the main channel, I'm at what was the other end of this line, as it sort of is quite linear at the minute, of storms in Miami Beach, Florida. Further north, there was a massive snowstorm there last night. Just give you a little perspective, I'm also the same. So what that tells you is that this storm already has a lot of energy within it, and that is going to be continuing right the way across the Atlantic over the course of this week.
And Christian, do you have anything as well? That was Nathan.
Nothing really to add. I mean, I could again go over here, where pretty much the entirety of Ireland is covered in status red, with Northern Ireland being status orange. That's how serious they're expecting this storm to be. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this personally.
Now that would be interesting if Northern Ireland goes red as well, but I want to mention a few other things. I did check some of the wind charts. I mean, we're looking at potentially wind gusts approaching 125 miles per hour along some western counties of Ireland, and across the UK, pretty much everywhere getting 50 mile an hour gusts everywhere across the UK.
This storm looks huge on its final approach. I was looking at the it looked massive in size. I think they had some wind
just going
from the south as well, in like Plymouth sort of area, like Dorset, and those winds looked fairly strong when me and Christian were looking at it earlier. And I know Christian's just got up a run just there. I might go over to Christian's run. I know Michael wants to talk in just a moment as well, so I'll go over to Christian's screen and then we'll let Michael set off. There we are.
So I've just pulled up this is the GFS run on Tropical Tidbits, very useful website. So just want to make
Use a few models. Use GFS and European model and compare.
Well, I just got this up. Give me a moment. So this is what the GFS are forecasted. They expected to go to the north of Ireland. This is the GFS with, what is that, 943, I believe.
Christian,
so
I'm
again,
gonna just quickly stop you there. You can put on a that is very impressive, but you can put on just Europe so you can see a lot easier. If you want, if you go down, there you are, regions. But yeah, sorry for interrupting. You can go ahead and continue.
Okay, now I've got a clearer picture. Right. So as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. We essentially, like, I think North Atlantic would have been a better view It comes in from the North Atlantic about 24 hours from now, I believe. And as we
Wow.
slowly advance, it's 6 hours frame by frame. I mean, look at this,
Look at
really.
that. Yeah, that
Just-
and even northern France.
I should point out, Christian, you're looking at the 850 millibar heights there. That isn't at the surface.
Well, I don't know which one. Which one am I using here?
It's
So,
the
yeah.
MSLP and 10 meter wind halfway down. That's
Halfway
the
down.
closest
Right.
indication of the surface winds.
Yeah.
Okay, that should give us a slight,
There we
a
are.
better view then. All right, thanks for that. Clearly, I don't quite know my way around the models.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I don't know if I'd call that landfall or not on like just there.
The,
Don't know
Well,
if
it
I'd
looks like
say
Hebridean
it.
Islands look like they might take a hit.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
The Outer
Then again,
Hebrides.
It will be a weakened Éowyn when it gets there, though. Slightly.
Yeah.
But look
Yeah,
across
but
the English
relative-
Channel there as well.
Yeah.
Winds getting up there into probably, what is
That's what I
that,
was
nearly
thinking.
50 miles per hour, actually.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So obviously it's
Hmm.
going to be a rough old channel.
I did see as well. Someone commented on the thing about the on the comments saying any sea or coastal warnings in place. The Met Office have issued some warnings for Western shipping over the last day or so. We although won't have an accurate marine forecast until 24 hours before the storm is going to hit. So we should have a little bit more on that in the next day or so once the Met Office issue the marine warnings for this storm. There are some warnings in effect at the moment for the Humber area and also through the Hebrides, the Faroes, Iceland, basically all quadrants past the west coast of the UK. They all have something in effect for them.
Now, I'd like
Taking a
to
look at
address the
east-
point
Oh,
about how it's 2 days away.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, about
At least
Friday
two-
morning.
about
yes.
2 days.
So about 24 hours.
And-
almost. 'Cause it was
24 hours until what, sorry?
almost 24 hours.
Yeah,
Or I'd say it's closer to 36
Now.
hours away.
there'll be a
Yeah,
more
but there will
accurate
be- there
marine
will be
warning tomorrow.
Winds as that.
Yeah, but people talking about how, jumping the gun with the warnings. I mean, ourselves, have a slight downcast bias, and I gotta tell you, from what I've seen on evidence of these models, there isn't really a fail mode on this storm.
It has massive potential, this storm. And Nathan was saying earlier about the English Channel. It's also the same and worse for the Irish Sea as well. And that's why I was talking about Anglesey and Isle of Man probably going to take a large hit from the storm too.
WX Crazy has asked Force 13, could the storm be more south? Question mark.
Well, that is going to be a massive
Yeah, that is.
question. Evidence of what we saw with previous storms, I would suggest maybe not, because they did tend to trend north, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the point that they get here, they're caught in the sort of the tidal streams of the jet stream, aren't they?
There is a storm. There was like a. Hang on, Christian. Is that a low pressure that was below it?
Yeah, well, again, this
That-
is sort of
that
getting
would've
into
pushed-
like
giving it a push next to it. And there's
Yeah,
another one for
well,
behind.
basically, Éowyn's expected to go, this is Éowyn up here in like 78 hours from now, which is, I mean, a little bit further out. But yeah, we've got apparently another system coming in afterwards. Again, this is about 90 hours out.
Once
So again, this is a couple of days.
Is
I
it
mean,
as deep as Éowyn?
doesn't
at
look
least
like it.
some.
Is
Broader
it
there, spaced out a lot more.
very close?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Or
seeing here.
broader.
It says here. From what I can see, it says about 946, whereas compared to Éowyn, it gets to about 938.
Yeah, 9. 938.
This is on the ECMWF
Much
model.
tighter isobar gradient there with the current storm, meaning that means stronger winds.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this upcoming one,
Also
I mean,
stronger
you get a
south
little bit
flow.
into the purples here, but again, this is a lot broader.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have as stronger winds as compared to Éowyn here.
Now, for the benefit of the viewers as well, who may have just been checking in earlier, when I was setting up, I was hearing you talking about snow warnings. How widespread is that?
That's
So
just over. Go on then, Michael. Actually.
yeah, so the snow warnings currently are only in effect for the northern parts of the UK. So the warnings through that area. So it was on Friday.
there
There
it is.
are amber wind warnings from 0600 to 2100 Friday.
It does reach into northern England now. Very northern
Yeah.
counties.
Past Manchester, Leeds, and York, further north, so through Humberside, through Newcastle. Humberside, Hull, not Newcastle.
Higher than that. We're talking Durham there and
Yeah, and
Northumberland and Cumbria.
all of Northern Ireland is also currently under that warning. Is as far north as Perth.
I'm a bit
And
confused though. Is that happening before this storm or after?
the
It's
snow.
happening, well, it's in effect from 3 a.m. Friday up until 12 p.m. on as well. So
Oh, it's during.
slightly before, I think.
Oh, before.
Yeah, it's during it,
Before, during, kind of
and a little
area.
bit after.
Yeah, well, usually when these things happen, the cold is the leading side of it. So usually the snow comes in first, if there is any, and then obviously the core of the storm, and then what's behind it's coming in from the Atlantic. Obviously, it's come from the Western Atlantic. It's going to bring a warm air mass in here.
Yeah. So yeah, the yellow warning of snow is actually a shorter time than the wind warning is. So the yellow warning of snow is in effect from 0300 UTC until 1200 UTC on Friday the 24th.
Just want to bring up how trustworthy is the icon model?
It's not bad, I think.
Because what these guys are predicting is directly
I think.
into 947. That's like a direct landfall. And then, do they have another system come up behind it? They do.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one's much broader.
So
This one's a lot.
Wide.
also
Yeah.
just to advise people who are watching. So going through the next few days, so the forecast through this evening, the rest of this, rest of today and through this evening, the wind gusts are expected to pick up during the next few hours. So they'll start to pick up only gradually at the moment, up until the early hours of tomorrow morning. You'll start to notice a more noticeable breeze coming in, with the first areas up in the north of Scotland starting to experience wind gusts in the 20s. And then as the day progresses, the wind gusts are going to get stronger. And by lunchtime, Stornoway will be having 35 mile an hour southeasterly winds. And as with Aberdeen, 30 mile an hour on the southeasterly. Glasgow, 29 miles an hour southeasterly, and Belfast is on 40 mile per hour west southwesterly. So you've already noticed that the storm's already starting to pick up by midday tomorrow. And
So I'd just
Manchester,
like to know from our international audience, which right now is me, what your temperatures are across there at the moment.
Or Michael can get a more reliable estimate for my area as well.
Do you want to give Fahrenheit yourself?
I mean, if it helps.
I don't think anyone over there uses Fahrenheit.
My maximum temperature on Friday during this storm will be 10 degrees. As of right now, it's 3.
Oh.
Bear in mind, it's like 25 past 9. So it's gonna warm up.
In Ireland this month, and the temperatures haven't been recovering very much either, have they?
No, they haven't.
No.
So going through the rest of tonight, so the forecast as it stands, overnight we are going to be maintaining just above freezing, which is good news.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Although going further
Wow.
north through the Highlands, obviously the Highlands haven't really recovered temperature-wise. Most of those areas are going to be around freezing. So through around Fort William, Aberdeen, and Wick. The forecast by tomorrow morning is that most areas will be in the low single digits. As the day progresses, it is expected to stay relatively low on the temperature charts through the evening. However, as the night progresses, you can also see where the storm comes in, the warm air mass also follows the storm coming in. So actually, over the following day or so, temperatures recover to double digits through the south and actually through parts of the Midlands. So yeah, which is interesting. So overnight actually through Exeter and Plymouth is expected to maintain a decent temperature range actually of 10 to 11 degrees overnight, which is
Probably throwing it down with strong winds, though. Huh?
yeah, but it's slow. It is that's quite mild for this time of year because even Cardiff and Pembrokeshire are going to be experiencing 10 degree air temperatures, which would be quite good. And I say quite mild for this time of year.
To add on to what Christian said earlier, I wasn't expecting my temperature to be too different from his because I'm not too far, and I was right. 10 degrees is a high on Friday for me, and then as a low, 1 degree, and then straight into Saturday it goes down to 6 degree high, so that changes quite a bit there.
The morning of Saturday is going to be a very chilly one.
Yeah, and that because of all the pressure moving south.
Because most of the areas will be in the low single digits, even in the south of England. It's going to be about a temperature of around about 1 to 2 degrees, maybe 3 to wake up to. But the temperatures will recover through the morning, but not by much. We're only looking at probably around about 5-6 degrees as the highs on Saturday. Then before the evening, it then peters off, and again we're looking at a very cold Saturday into Sunday. But then looking a little bit further along into next week, it does recover a little bit more, and we're looking at some slightly nicer temperatures, but even still very, very cold.
I have an
which is
question, actually.
seasonal average.
This could go for Nathan, Christian, or Michael, if any of you want to answer it. But Nathan would probably have a better idea. Could this storm be any worse than the most recent storm we had, Dara? Could that be any worse? How so, if it could?
Yes, it certainly could. Because I think with that storm we were talking about 90 to 100 mile per hour winds, and this could be up to 120, maybe even more, according to some of these models if they come to fruition. The last one was forecasted pretty well, so I would have no qualms really with believing this forecast that's into the hundreds miles per hour. That's gusts, I should add. But in terms of sustained winds, it could also get to 100 miles per hour in some of those locations, all on the west coast. I think those strong winds will also be more widespread. Certainly, the warnings are much more severe than what we had with Dara. So it has all of the hallmarks of a very powerful storm. In fact, probably, I don't know, in terms of like leaderboard compared to other storms, but it must be into the top 10 in the last century.
Wow. This one already. Because I remember...
if what forecasted happened.
I mean, from what I remember of Dara, I myself wasn't particularly that badly affected. However, my town, like there was like a roof came off of some garages and onto the main road of of town, and that was really the only major damage that my town had. Other than that, I didn't really hear about too much. Now, my main concern is I'm not expecting this to be as bad as Eunice was in my area a couple of years ago. Because
yeah,
I mean that area I was under a Met Office rare red warning.
Yeah, same.
That was for my area.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't come to that for any of those places down there. I mean,
No, absolutely not.
however, I would say further north in northern England. Further
And
I
yeah,
drove
look,
home in Storm Eunice. That was interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
what was interesting
I
to me...
covered it in Bude.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And then, what was that, Nathan?
I covered it live in Cornwall, didn't I?
What was interesting
yeah,
about Dara, for me, is that storm was much worse for me than Eunice was, and I was in a red warning with Eunice, but I was only with a yellow warning in Dara.
Oh.
So I don't know if that.
Yeah, I just remember
Slight
Eunice being
on
pretty bad in my area.
Well, I know it was bad in London. It rips the
Entire leaf blew off for Dara for us.
Sorry?
An entire leaf blew off during Dara for us.
Entire leaf. Oh no! Yeah, I'll just say
Yeah.
like entire building, roof of a building came off in my town with Dara.
and a telephone.
It wasn't a nip then either.
The door went flying off, and I don't know how because that is a very heavy door. I tried lifting it, and it.
There is a couple of questions coming from the guys on chat.
Go on then.
So Mickey asks, I'm going camping Thursday night. Any tips on how to peg me tent down?
Oh, that's gonna be.
Oh.
Well, I don't think you should. I'm not sure if that was even a serious question, but if it is, absolutely not.
It depends. It depends where you're going camping as well. But I mean, Nathan was saying that around the whole of the UK, pretty much getting really strong winds. So I don't.
Yeah, if I were you, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't go if I were you, mate.
Wonderful. Not for the faint-hearted, anyway.
No, if you like a bit of a thrill, I mean, I wouldn't say go for it. I'd still say stay inside. But
No, if you still decide to go and you get any footage, send it into Force 13.
yes.
Okay.
So anyway, Nathan, you were in the middle of something, weren't you? And then I
no, I don't think I was, but I would just like to crowbar in the weather conditions here today in Miami. I gotta tell you, it wasn't that much warmer than back home. We had a maximum, I think we've probably had our maximum right now, 17 degrees today, which is the coldest day of the trip.
Well, you know, it's not 17 degrees, you know, I would like that personally.
It wasn't good. There was a big wind chill on it, Christian. There was. I had my coat on.
Well,
I don't know what the wind chill was.
I uploaded that video to me and I had to edit it.
There was a biting wind. Let me compare it to something in the UK. It reminded me of Blackpool in September. There you go. A little bit of context there.
I don't understand the context.
Right, I don't understand either.
Just before they switched on the illuminations. That's not what the temperature was. It was similar.
Southerners.
All right then, Brighton in September. God, what's wrong with you people?
Oh, damn, that is windy. Anyway,
if you guys also have any other questions for us, then please do send them into the comments section. I'm currently monitoring it, so if you guys have any questions, I'll get them onto the stream and then we can answer them for you.
There we are.
Yeah, if anything, 17 degrees is a lot warmer than pretty much most of the country right now.
By the way, guys,
didn't feel it, Christian. But yeah, well, I was waiting yesterday in the outdoors. But before we got to the airport, that was like 3 degrees in the morning, and it was terribly cold in London.
The exact reason why I was saying that the storm will start in 24 hours for some areas is that in this, when the storm's outer rain bands will reach Ireland, it will be 20Z. So basically, you could just say that's 8 p.m. in Cork, and those rain bands will cause a lot of rain over tomorrow night into Friday, and obviously wind will also follow after. And then I think if I'm not mistaken, there is also a term called a sting jet, and that's what Ireland will be entering. I think what that is. I think someone else can confirm that, Nathan, if you know.
It won't be as pronounced as it was during Dara, I don't think, because that was a proper sting jet.
Yeah.
This one, I would say maybe not so much.
On the rain map, it looks very nice.
David T says Nathan should go snow chasing up in North Carolina.
Absolutely not. I escaped the snow. Thank you very much. We're not doing any of that.
Did you say David
Get Tim
T?
to do it. Tim's there. He's already there. Get Tim to do it.
No. Right. Anyway.
Isn't that just David Tones, our very own?
David T. Yeah, that's David.
That's David.
Yeah. The rain. It's not very
Alright.
forecast.
You come and join us on the stream.
But the rain
You'll be live on the
in
UK channel.
Ireland, pretty much sustains from around, in some areas, heavy rain 4 to 8 millimeters an hour, even getting to 16 millimeters an hour there, but mainly a massive cover of 2 millimeters an hour, and that rain continues through the whole of Friday morning, and then you'll get the centre of the storm, which will only just pass over, which looks like will only just pass over the western side of Ireland, which would also cause more rain, but not as much as that outer rain band did.
Can I ask about accumulations there?
David has just joined us.
I just wanted to finish off quickly. I can talk about accumulations just a moment, but that when the storm's centre moves over, it won't be as much widespread rain, but in little areas could experience heavy showers or to moderate showers. And Nathan, you wanted to see or hear about the rainfall accumulation.
Yeah, because as we know, we've been hit by flooding the first week of January. I would imagine some significant accumulations would be very bad news.
I don't actually have a accumulation visual.
Christian can grab it on his there.
Yeah, Christian
What?
can. Christian, could you grab the rainfall accumulation visual graphic?
You're gonna have to guide me to where it is.
Oh.
It will be, hold on a minute, let me zoom in on you. It is the total accumulated precip.
Right, on the GFS model, I take it?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, just scroll out there to...
First rain band.
Okay, well... Alright, you've gone too far now. So those aren't actually massive accumulations there, which is good.
Yeah.
But certainly there will be heavy rain
Sorry.
at times.
I've lost it. Hang on a minute. There we go. Yep, got it back. Okay.
But you could say that, I mean, just go to the 72-hour mark. Because that factors, that's both those storms. There's the one we're talking about. More rain in France, actually, than in the UK and Ireland. Some parts of Western Ireland, they're maybe getting close to 50 millimetres, as well as the western part of Scotland. That second system might actually be wetter, looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at that one now.
Oh, yeah.
The one that passes through on Monday looks like it forms a very small, compact area when it gets into the English Channel and goes straight over London, Le Havre, and has a lot more of a pronounced rain band structure than
oh yeah,
which is much more broad.
There you are.
Any other things we should check out?
yeah, go to icon there, which you've already done, and yeah. So the common theme there is South Wales.
What's happening in
Looks like it
Spain?
could be a hot spot there. Spain and
Yeah.
Portugal, yeah, quite a bit there. South Wales, maybe parts of Devon. And obviously
Charlie will be
Western
pleased.
Scotland, which is traditionally the wettest place in the UK anyway, and then parts of Western Ireland there.
WX Crazy says, dumb question, but could there be a tornado threat? It's not a dumb question, because it is possible, I believe.
Well, wow.
We have
There
had
could be-
tornadoes here before.
It probably won't be. It won't be as bad as there can
American
be.
ones.
Yeah, as American ones, as many other places around the world. I'm not even convinced that there would be any tornadic activity, but if there was, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be bad. It would not be. It wouldn't be as bad as most people would expect.
Hey Michael, do you like how I instinctively looked out the window when you said American ones?
Yeah.
Nope,
I
there's
think-
no tornado outside.
I think the holy grail for you would be if you were out in America and came across a tornado outbreak, and then you were just like there filming it. Like that.
I'm more
I
a
think-
hurricane guy though, you know that.
But yeah, that's true. That's true. But even a tornado would probably be a bit of a score for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean-
I went to the Philippines during the peak of typhoon season, the cyclone capital of the world, and saw diddly, absolutely nothing.
And I'll tell you what, I've been to Japan, the earthquake capital of the world, and there was nothing.
Well, yeah.
Well, I should have come with you and then just fallen down the stairs.
Oh.
But yeah, similarly, when I spent a couple of hours in Manila, and Gukul was nearby. So I just remember that.
Gukul, where
Sorry, what?
are you again?
I was mostly. Well, it was before. It was just before Japan. I was in.
Bali, you weren't near Gukul, okay? You were nowhere near.
I said I spent a few hours in Manila.
Okay. Well, you still weren't that close to Gukul. Gukul had no influence on your weather other than some rain.
No, it didn't. Either that, well, it didn't
Oh,
actually. It
dear.
had no
Just
influence
like
at all.
you
It was
were
nowhere
close to
near.
Shanshan when you were in Hong Kong. Anyway.
Shut up.
Well,
let's
guys,
not
the
derail
infighting
the-
is on the way here, viewers. It's going well.
Let's not derail the stream, Christian. Won't talk.
Anyways, but yes, like I said, I've been to Japan, and there were no earthquakes there, despite being the most seismically active country in the world. But
That's like
yeah.
going to the UK and having no rain.
Yeah, precisely. Or like going to America and having no tornadoes.
No, because
Well, that's happened. Well, it's like going to Oklahoma in May and having no tornadoes. That'll be
Yeah.
more like it.
maybe hail might be a better thing. Is David there?
I don't know about anyone else, but David's signal is appalling.
Yeah, David's signal.
Mm.
Are you eating, David?
See how the hours over there, so.
I was actually quarter to 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. Quarter to
8:45, did you say?
Oh,
No,
he's
quarter to
coming down
8.
now. I'm
because
not
he's
sure what was going on. I couldn't quite hear him.
it's quarter to 8 there because you know they're 10 hours ahead.
Yeah, I know he's not 12. I know that.
Yeah, sorry, I'm dead. But I don't know. I just have it pulled up on my system here. I've got the time in Sydney, and I've got to remember they're an hour ahead of Brisbane. So
Is David okay?
The Robin,
Anyway.
Wrong.
they-
David, is your mic? Sounded like he was chewing on a wire.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
and yeah, he'll be
so
fine.
the
Anyway,
Robinson has asked, what's the actual pressure expected to drop to now?
Oh, and it depends on what area. It depends on what area, but I know
Yeah.
that Éowyn central pressure, minimum central pressure, is widely forecasted to drop into the 940s, maybe into the 930s. I know ECMWRF were predicting 938 millibars just off the northern coast of Northern Ireland, but not Northern Ireland, but
Okay.
the
I
North
can't get any
Dublin,
pressure values up on the models right now because there's a model run in progress. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Ah,
Yeah.
But
I can
So
only go up to
Dublin,
18 hours out.
I'm looking at the
Obviously.
forecast for Dublin over,
Dublin, yeah, go on.
and they are saying that the air pressure in Dublin is expected to drop round into the ballpark of the 970s in millibars.
Of course,
probably
that is
check.
very narrow.
My local area,
That's
not that
very
open.
It is
narrow.
looking.
Because they
It
were
is
saying that
looking-
was 938 just off the northern coast of Ireland. So for it to go from 938 to 9 into the 970s near Dublin, that is very narrow isobars. Go on, Mike.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, I think I'm good.
well,
I
it's
mean,
not going to pass.
from what I'm seeing in my area, no, that's tomorrow. Never mind. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. Not on Friday morning, about 8 a.m. It's expected in my area to go down to 991, if that helps. But then for some reason,
Not what it was when
tomorrow,
what I got during Dara. That
Well,
Yeah.
Nathan, you know, I know you're not home right now, but for people who live around your area, because there must be a lot of people near Manchester.
Ooh.
What does that area look like in terms of winds and how that works? I know if you don't know, then
I did have a look.
You
probably
did have a
got
look?
wind gusts into the 60s most likely for the Greater Manchester area.
That's pretty
So that's just a slight bit higher than
Decent.
Dara. You know, I rubbish the obviously rubbish Dara's impact in my area. There's hardly anything happened, but it did get windy. So it will be like that again, and there will be, you know, just a slight bit more than what we got during Dara, for those who remember, in the Greater Manchester area. Small potential for significant impacts, obviously common sense precautions, obviously taking care during travel, high-sided vehicles on bridges, things like that, you know, to avoid it. Securing loose objects.
And Michael, were you in the
this-
middle of saying? There you are, Michael. Go on.
What's that?
I was just going to ask if you were in the middle of saying something, and then you can go ahead now if you want.
So I'm just having a look at some of the forecasts for Ireland, because that is looking like the area that's going to be most significantly affected by this system. Looking at the north part of Northern Ireland, I've got the forecast up for Londonderry, in part of Northern Ireland. And their central air pressure is expected to drop
very low,
down to 953 millibars.
Yeah.
And also
Wow.
maximum gusts up to 78 miles per hour.
I remember during Kieran, that's what the air pressure around this area dropped to, was like 953, and I didn't feel very well personally.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
How does
Well,
that work?
you weren't around. What? It's called pressure-induced headache.
No, Christian.
What?
You're talking about Kieran, right?
Well, Kieran, I think. I just
No,
remember the air pressure. I can pull up the image.
That's
It was,
interesting.
yeah.
Because I only got 980.
I got 953 during Kieran.
So, and I'm
So-
fairly.
Hang on, let me
close to
pull.
But Christian, I was going to actually ask you something. You see that the GFS is just initializing there. The icon that you were looking at, was that the current icon's always quicker? Was it already finished when we were looking at it, or is that also processing?
Well, looks
That
like
was
it's
already done.
Looks like it's finished.
Just run us through that again, because that's the first.
Ooh,
What are we up to? 18Z model to come out.
yeah,
That looks like it's deepening very quickly, as it is.
yeah. 949.
Bombing out there.
947,
That would probably qualify as a
947.
bomb cyclone there.
Yep. So that's 947, by the
changed?
way.
Like the minimum pressure forecasted change.
Yeah, go to the previous run from the icon, Christian. I think it's that back arrow.
What this
Yeah.
back arrow? Previous
I
image.
think
No,
so.
no, that one.
Oh,
that
no.
one,
You'd have to go
is
to the drop
previous.
down there. Because if you because you can compare model runs, but comparing the same model run for run can tell you a little bit more about that as well. So there's the previous run.
The website, by the way, because Robinson has asked it, is Tropical Tidbits.
948.
948.
Tidbits.com.
So
Okay.
very slightly less.
And then the run before that. Ooh, how about again 948 as well?
Quite consistent there.
Yeah.
That could,
Then-
that would definitely be a problem for the.
That's
Isle of
9.
Man
Then
and
the run before
Anglesey.
that, I think, is 946. So, again, pretty consistent. Just want to put that onto the latest run, 947. But more or less in the same spot.
Yeah. Also, on the new run, it looks like it deepens a lot. Well, no, not deepens.
It's not even deepening.
Christian, it looks. I knew you were going to do that. It looks
Yeah,
even
me
better
too.
inside of the Irish Sea than it did on the previous run, and that.
I mean, just want to say, look at this.
Problem. Yeah, well, there you are. That would be a problem
Yeah.
for Anglesey and Isle of Man. David, are you just joined us just a moment ago? Have you got anything you wanted to say? Because you were firing away in the chat. If you have anything else.
Well, the warnings are going to be critical. Anybody along the coast need to stay off the roads because just looking at the central pressure, it's going to be an extremely dangerous system. And what I'm seeing on the screen is it's maintaining its consistency, and the warnings are going to be. The Met Office is going to be very busy, but this, as I said, it's a dangerous system. Now, with the GFS model updating, 72 hours or 24 hour mark?
36 hours.
36 hours. So,
36.
comparing
Well, it's
the
getting
last two ones.
Oh, there it is. 942 is that?
This is the GFS.
Well, I know the
That's,
latest
yeah,
update is not great.
942 at least.
Is that a
I
new
don't know.
low from them?
I don't know. Either way, this is the frame we want. Again, I'm not sure if I don't know if I can get any closer to the UK on this run because I'm very concerned.
Just load that loop through. Just cycle through those images again because it's actually just missed to the north there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just missing to the north, or is that?
Big
That's
job
very
north,
close.
but you can see it's packing those winds right into County Mayo. Actually,
Chris
when
Conroy
they were saying
asks,
about,
what
if
the
it's
air
gonna go
pressure
north
for
or south,
Offaly
they were-
Island? I've just found out it's going to be around about the mid 960s, Chris. If you wanted to know that. So.
Again, just
Into
want to point
Sligo
out
as well.
air pressure related again for my area. According to the forecast for my area for next Monday, it's going to drop to 980.
Yeah, that's the other system that looks
That's
very small
this.
and
I
compact.
can't get it at the moment, but that would be the second
tiny.
system coming in.
Yeah,
I think
that'll
be
just
Monday
that
next
thing.
week.
It builds up into a very small thing that.
Christian, that
That's very
GFS
small.
run isn't that a major change there? It's going more north.
Well, that's what I said. That's what you were talking about earlier. What someone said in the chat. Will it go further north or further south of what is predicted currently? Well, there's your answer. This is what is now predicted.
It is.
It looks
Yeah, it
like
is
it's going a
jogging
bit
north.
So that might not even make.
Because
up
I'm
for
back in a couple of ones. Ooh,
Ireland. It might.
939.
It might not.
Just
even
go to
make
that.
up
Oh, that's 60.
There you are.
That's 6. This is 0. 934.
So
getting-
it's shifted back just
it's
for one
shifted.
run so far, so it could go back
Yeah,
again.
this is
Yeah.
again. This is 0. Although saying that, hang on, that's 54 hours out. Well, it's a plural. But you see, that doesn't quite. It's actually been shifting a little further south. Because if I advance, because that's there. Oops. That's and this is 12. It's actually shifting a little bit south, but then the 18 shifted a little bit north. So it's toying with the idea of a landfall.
Well, the storm's big enough to like engulf the whole.
but the storm is
which
big
not-
enough to impact the.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the system
Um,
makes landfall or not. It's still a dangerous system situation.
So have we got any final questions coming through from anyone watching? We're just coming up to the top of the hour.
Which is when we'll be ending the stream. Yeah.
So
if
if
you
anyone
wanna
else has
say
any other
anything,
questions, then feel free to
them
send
up
them
in-
through and we'll pick them up in the next few minutes.
Precipitation's going to be.
Well, precipitation is
We did
not
cover
really a primary threat with this system. We did go over it. Let's put it this way: France gets more rain than the UK does during the next few days. Rain's not really the main.
There is still a massive shelf of rain that just goes straight over
I mean,
Friday
I can.
morning if no one else has in Ireland, and it does push itself into the UK, but obviously not
Yeah.
as pronounced.
No, not that one.
Well, Jack, I thought I would go outside, but it's chilly and rainy, so I am going to leave you with a quick shot outside my window here looking towards the bees on Ocean Drive here in Miami Beach and say goodbye to everyone. And it was nice to chat, and we're probably going to have a lot more of these chats as this storm arrives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the second one behind it.
Thank you, Nathan. Enjoy your time away. What was I going to say?
Hang on. Well, we're
Nathan's
expecting a
fine.
Friday, and I believe this, and then I believe this second system is going to impact us on somewhere around about Monday.
Yeah,
So
I
a
think
couple
it
of
was
days.
Monday. Yeah, we've just basically.
Yeah.
I remember. I think I don't know if it's changed now, and it probably has. Well, it would have. But you can check this over again, Christian. I'm going to move back to your screen from Nate. Oh, there he's gone now. But you can check how many storms like actually affect the UK in the next 2 weeks, because I've seen on the forecast. I think it was not yesterday, but on Monday evening, I saw a train of storms, just one storm after another, and they were all just coming straight along, hitting the UK. Some of them even hitting Cornwall, that as far south as Cornwall. Does it still have that? Does it still have that on the forecast, like very far out forecast? Because there was.
I'm not
loads.
quite sure. Well, you need the GFS for that, and there's that model run is still in progress. But so I'll just leave us with the icon.
Yeah, well, there
This
we
is
are.
Éowyn here,
Yeah, Éowyn. Yeah.
with them coming in behind it, which doesn't seem to want to impact land at the moment, but it's still this system's actually a lot bigger
Well,
than
it's
the one
influenced
before
by
it. So
It's very broad.
who knows? It's a very broad
But
system,
it doesn't
and
look like it has a very strong.
no, apparently according to this latest model run, this is again 5 days out, but 961 is what it is, and that's just off the coast of Cork.
Yeah, it has a bit of a spin around there, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it actually bottoms out, I believe if I'm seeing this right, way about, again, 100 hours away, so less than 5 days. 949, but then it weakens beyond that point, and then gets up to, like I said,
Even the winds in that
961.
storm
What?
the winds in that storm reaching as far down as Portugal. Huge.
Yeah,
system.
well, just absolutely. So that's how broad it is.
But
and
that's not Éowyn.
That's not Éowyn.
If
No,
we can
this
have it
is
head on
this
over
here
to
is Éowyn.
There it is. Less
Well, they're
broad,
saying
but
that-
much more narrow
Less-
in terms of.
Like a lot again, yeah. Like, and the smaller the system, the higher the winds are going to be.
Yeah, with the it depends on the
And again-
isobars. Yeah.
And again, we've got, according to the models, 947 just before landfall in Ireland. But this is according to the Icon model. Like I said, the GFS are apparently in the middle of a run, so I don't have that data at the moment. But yeah, according to Icon, 947 in about 36 hours, as it just hits 10 o'clock. So,
Can we
that
wait
will
till
be-
Running
the...
out of time, guys. By the way, we'll have to finish up in just a moment. I know David was about to say anything, so go ahead, David.
I was just wondering if we can wait till the end of the GFS one.
Oh yeah, that one
No.
we're still waiting for.
Yeah, we're still waiting for it. Well, I've got the data of up to 72 hours out,
We
which
probably
again,
won't
we've
be able
just
to get
about
that
seen this.
on for the rest of the stream. So, for anyone watching this stream who wants
This
to
is
get
this
that,
is what we're
the
worried about.
website is tropicaltidbits.com. Is it, Christian? If you
Yep.
search up Tropical
And then,
Tidbits, it should come up, and
if you
you'll
go
be
to
able to
Tropical
find it.
Tidbits, and you'll want to go to
Almost.
forecast models. Now, this is
Yeah.
the same thing we use on the main channel for tropical cyclones, but it can be useful for, you know, just about everything.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
we'll show you
you
all
can
the
basically just,
GFS models.
and
Default
again,
is GFS. So.
And
Like-
also pivotalweather.com.
And
Like
Pivotal,
you,
but that is for the US.
that is, and not that one. Like again, if I were to do if you want to take a look at like the systems I'm tracking for T-Coast, for example, this is basically where they all are.
Yeah. Well,
Except
we
it's
are gonna have to finish up now, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
joining me on this stream. You guys have been a great help. We've covered this storm well in the past hour, and as Nathan said, I expect to be covering this storm a lot more as the as the storm gets closer and closer. Probably
Absolutely.
another live stream tomorrow night as well.
No,
I'm not
Chris
sure.
Conroy sent us €5.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, yeah.
Wow, thank you very
Take
much.
care.
Thank you very much for your support.
But yeah,
I know.
take care, everyone.
And you guys have been watching ForceThirteenUK.
Yeah.
Yeah, ForceThirteen UK and Ireland. Probably see you again for the next storm as well afterwards.
But in the meantime, guys, take care, stay safe, yeah?
Yeah.